Hey, so I'm here for round one, and we're on the play. It's always good. We have a hand that's not great, but like pretty serviceable. Um, like if it's got like some threats and some interaction, it'll be kind of bad if like this lightning bolt isn't good. Like if I'm playing against a combo deck, because then this hand is just like totally uninteractive, and it's also not particularly fast, or at least it's like not particularly resilient to like lightning bolts, or like the kinds of interaction that combo decks will usually present. Luckily, my opponent seems to be infect, so this hand is probably actually really good. I don't want to reveal Snapcaster, though that's a very good draw. I'm just gonna attack before bolting, just because there's no reason not to. Even though my opponent's basically 0%. My opponent's like unlikely to block, but like there's some chance like he values killing the Stalver highly enough that he wants to like block in like mutagenic growth, in which case I can just blow him out. I think this Noble Hierarch gives him enough options on his next turn that it's worth just killing. Like it means that he's not going to be able to play like a Blighted Agent and leave up Vines of Vastwood or Apostle's Blessing. And if he has like an Inkmoth Nexus, he's not going to be able to play the Inkmoth Nexus in addition to another spell. It just restrains his options a lot. Alright, and so now my opponent knows I have another removal spell, which is fine. I got Steam Vents there because I had another fetch land, and I think blue mana is valuable enough that it's fine to just... I think that blue mana is valuable enough that I'm given that I'm playing against Infect and like certainly don't mind shocking again, that I'm willing to just have all blue sources in play, though I could definitely see arguments for going the other way. And so flipping my Delvers here is obviously great. And so now I have a decision as to what I want to do. I could hold back Delver to try to block Inkmoth Nexus or Glistener Elf, which would be the safest play. But he's just dead next turn. And I think I want to threaten to kill it. I think I want to like threaten just make him dead next turn. Like the more defensive he has to be, the worse all of his cards are. And so I kind of just like attacking here. And then if he attacks, I'll play Snapcaster Mage to block his Glistener Elf and then reevaluate based on what he does. The bolt is almost certainly just going at his face at this point, depending on what exactly goes on. So he's going to Distortion Strike here. That's fine. Basically, I'm only going to counter, like, if he plays like a giant pump spell here, I'll counter it, but other than that, I'm probably just going to Snapcaster Bolt his face and then just attack with everything. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine what he could have here that stops me from just winning the game on my turn. I guess I'll just get Blood Crypt here to get a second red source. Doesn't matter much. Okay, so my opponent just conceded. Yeah, alright. So, my hand was great, I got pretty lucky, and my opponent died. It's probably not there's not really a ton to say about that game. Post board, I certainly want Kolagon's Command because he has Spell Scud and Inkmoth Nexus for artifacts, and the 1 damage is great against his creatures. His Staticaster is good because all his creatures have 1 toughness. Batterskull is terrible. Thoughtseize and Dispel are quite good. I think the 2 mana counter spells are all pretty bad just because he's going to have lots of Dispels himself and lots of Vines of Vastwood, and like all of his spells cost 1 or like 0 mana. So it's going to be really hard to get favorable exchanges with these cards, even though counter spells are like fundamentally okay given that he's a combo deck. I think they're just like too much work and too situational. And I'd rather have cards that are like cheaper, more proactive, like better when I'm behind. I do want the maximum number of threats. Maybe not the maximum number of threats. Like maybe I don't need all of these young Pyromancers. I think Delver is probably better than Young Pyromancer because it comes down early and blocks better. Like, it blocks Inkmoth Nexus, whereas Young Pyromancer tokens don't, and Young Pyromancer is just a little bit slow. Spell Snare is okay, it's not great. It counters Spellskite and Blighted Agent mostly. I think the combination of the two makes it worth living in. Given that my opponent's a combo deck, I think I want all of the probes and all of my lands. I think I can probably get away with cutting Young Pyromancer and like a Gurmag Angler probably. And then just bringing these cards in. Which kind of like offsets what I'm doing to my curve by boarding in all of these 3-drops. Alternatively, I could shave a Thought Scour, but I don't like that so much. Like, I don't think I need lots of win conditions against my opponent's deck, though I do need a clock early. I think I'm better served just trying to kill all my opponent's creatures and prevent him from killing me, and then just cleaning up the game with like whatever creatures I just happen to have, rather than trying to just get a good threat down and beat him down early. I think that might be bad. I think I might have sideboarded a little bit too aggressively, and then maybe should have fewer cantrips and more threats in my deck. But I think that's okay. This hand is bad, but I think it's still worth keeping. Electrolyze is a very good card against his deck, and these Thought Scours are going to set up a lot of the threats I can play, and hopefully draw me into some amount of interaction. I played this over the... I mean, there's an argument for playing Bloodstained Mire instead of this to try to bluff a Lightning Bolt, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better just to play this and get it out of the way so I have more options with regarding my Shocklands later. Like, preserving my life total is basically irrelevant in this matchup, but there's no reason to give him the option of like killing me with Spellskite or Noble Hierarch sometimes. And if I draw more Darkslick Shores or like Creeping Tar Pit or like lands I like, then maybe like this makes like maybe my third turn a bit better for me. Like if I draw another Darkslick Shores. And I don't think the bluff has that much value. Alright, so my opponent's hit me for 1 Infect. I milled an Angler, which is not great. And so this turn, I think I'm just gonna Thoughtseize my opponent. I don't think leaving up Terminate's gonna be super high value. And basically I just wanna see what my opponent's up to, so I can plan out my next couple turns a bit better. So my opponent's hand, it's kind of medium. It's pretty terrible outside of this Vines of Vastwood, which is the card I'm going to take. I could maybe take Mutagenic Growth, but I think that's bad. I mean, Mutagenic Growth is actually pretty good against all of the cards in my hands. Just because it costs 0 mana, and it's going to be fairly hard for him to leave up Vines of Vastwood, given that he's short on mana, but overall I think it's not worth it. I think Vines of Vastwood is the best card in his hand by too much, and the Terminate is capable of killing his Infect creature, or even the ability on Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to take Vines of Vastwood here and just mark down what else he has. So he's gonna wind up with Growth, Become, and Might of Old Krosa, and an Arbor that he's probably gonna play. Right, so yeah, so I think I'm just gonna take Vines of Vastwood here. So wait until the end of his turn to Thought Scour, because I have one unknown card, which he might be scared as a Lightning Bolt. I mean, there's no real advantage to Thought Scouring here. The only card that the only 0 mana card in my deck is Jataxian Probe, and I have no reason to play that. I guess my opponent's just gonna go for a ton of Infect damage here. I don't know if this is actually good, but he's done it. So now his hand is Become Immense, and Mutagenic Growth. become immense, mutagenic growth, and Dryad Arbor. So he doesn't have good means of interacting. He doesn't have good means of preventing me from killing his creature. I'm gonna play this Pluto Delta because I want the option of playing both Terminate and Murderous Cut, and will in fact Murderous Cut his Nexus if he plays it. This is a strange play. Okay, so he's just not playing anything, which makes sense. Then at the end of the turn, I'll just take the chance to electrolyze his Nexus. I'll just get the... I milled the second Steam Vents. Alright, so I'll just get Watery Grave here. Just have the best mana possible. And then just electrolyze his Dryad Arbor. The electrolyze is not very valuable because he has mutagenic growth, so I'm mostly interested in just cycling it here. The other cards are all hard removal, whereas this is like soft removal. And if he wants to mutagenic growth to save his Dryad Arbor, I'm like very okay with that. And so yeah, so now again, I'm just gonna play lands untapped to give myself options. At the end of his turn, I will Snapcaster Thought Scour if he gives me the option. And I mean, I might as well just give myself the option of like playing Murderous Cut in addition to all that. And so, just gonna follow through with the line of play. Yeah, so it looks like my opponent's just basically just waiting until he draws either another infect creature or a protection spell, but he's just conceding because he doesn't like his matchup. Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't a particularly hard-fought round. I'll be back for round 2.